business or you're involved with that would inhibit you from performing these duties at a full-time level?
There is nothing that would inhibit me.
Understand my questions, I'm prepared to be fair, are going to be asked of everyone, so I'm asking everyone. Thank you. I'm done.
Mr. Carruthers?
Ms. Carter, what's your opinion on changing the city charter as necessary to go from a mayor-strong government to a city manager or city administrator type government? How do you feel about doing that?
That is one topic that has been discussed among the board members for a number of years. We have looked into it and have analyzed the situation. One thing that it would do, it would maintain, well, let me back up. We are really the only large city in Shelby County that does not have that other than Bartlett. And I think that having a city manager creates a continuity that so often goes away when you have elected mayors every 4 years. The second thing is there's an answer for responsibility that lies with more than one person. As I understand, in most of those instances, the boards appoint, hire, appoint, whatever, and that person is answerable to the board. It's difficult in today's economy to find an individual who's willing to give up everything for 4 years of salary, not knowing what's going to happen 4 years down the road. And I think that this would allow us to have a mayor who would be part-time to provide that cohesiveness that you have with the community and back and forth and do all those things that a mayor should do, while at the same time having a professional on staff to handle personnel issues and the other day-to-day operations.
That's all I have.
Mr. Ford?
Yes, ma'am. You mentioned the Chamber and the IDB joint and the USA Stadium, and as you're aware, we just did a pretty substantial land swap between the two parties. We do count on quite a bit of generated revenue potential for USA Stadium area. Do you have any general thoughts about the land that we just swapped and how we can better utilize that?
No, I don't. I really don't. I know that that has just recently occurred. And as far as the property at USA Stadium, my understanding is the Sports Authority is looking to expand some of the sporting opportunities there, the venues there. I know that when you think about that, people think of soccer fields, and all of the other things that go with it, and that may be. But I think that, like anything else, to anticipate what would be there without really analyzing the situation carefully may be presumptuous and a little bit early in the dialogue. I do feel, however, that that complex over there, under the right management with the right goals and directions, could truly be a tremendous asset to the community.
Thank you. That's all.
Mr. Lowry?
Ms. Linda, how would you go about, and I think it's something we need to immediately begin to do, rebuilding the trust and the confidence back in the community of the mayor and the board?
I hate to use the term openness because it's so much been misused, but I think that that is really the key. There has to be some openness there. There has to be openness of communication between the mayor and the board. There has to be an openness of communication between the board and the mayor and the citizens. There has to be an openness of communication between the mayor, the board, and the employees. It goes to the old saying, we all have to be singing off the same page. We may not like that verse, but we've all got to be singing off the same page. And that is where you've got to start. And you have to determine, I think that, like I said, our first attention must be given to improving that image. And that's got to be the first verse. The second verse had better be, where are we going with the school system? And the third verse had better be, and how are we going to capitalize on Veterans Parkway and I-69 and the airport and the construction and the rezoning that's going on behind Lowe's and all of those things. Following that, you've got some other choices, but those are the critical things right now. And those are going to have to fall in place in line with the budget. The citizens have got to feel comfortable that the way we're spending money is in fact how they want that money spent. And we need to be listening to that. Mr. Bill Osteen, who was principal for so many years here at the high school, and some of you knew him and some of you didn't. A lot of people in the audience did, because I see a lot of old people like me out there. Made the statement one time that in life, you know, and I'll paraphrase what he said, in life, you can always take care of 80% of the people. They're going to be happy, and they're going to be good, and they're going to be goodness in life. Then you've got the other 20%. 10% of those are unhappy because they want to be, and 10% of those are unhappy because they don't know how to be happy. And so if we focus on that 80%, and listen to them, and listen to their comments, and listen to their talk, and welcome them with open arms, I think we're going to go a long way.
Mr. Morgan?
Ms. Linda, I look out at this crowd and it's filled with business people from the community, and everyone wants to know how to improve our economic situation here. Over the last 10 years, we've not really grown a whole lot in population. Why do you think that is? And what do you think we can do in 1 year to improve the economic climate?
Well, I think that we have grown in population, and I think a new census will prove that we have grown in population. We've built too many subdivisions not to have grown in population, and we haven't torn down that many. Or what? As far as improving the economic climate, you know, we have got to advertise what we have, and I think that that's an endeavor, as Mr. Ford said, between the Chamber, the IDB, and the city. We have got to be forthcoming. We have got to, for lack of a better word, start a Shop in Millington campaign. We have got to do those things that let people know what businesses are here. And then we've got to create the sense of feeling that we are truly a business-friendly environment. You know, we have, sometimes I see people avoid Highway 51 because of the traffic. Then we need to look at other areas where we can direct those things. And I think that the opening again, I think what they say, August or September is when Veterans Parkway will be open. I think we're going to see some really big changes in things and some really big directions. In a year, I'm not sure that you can do a whole lot other than smooth things out. I had a local businessman say to me when a lot of things are going on, what the heck is happening in Millington? And I think we've got to take that disgusting sound to what the heck is happening in Millington to an excited sound.
Thank you.
Mr. Pike?
Ms. Carter, an easy one for you. In reference to the school issue that you mentioned earlier, as mayor, what would be a vision, a direction, your opinion about, don't necessarily expect it to be solved in this time frame, but I mean, what would be some input from you?
Well, I think we ought to have myself, if I'm mayor, or at least, or someone else at every single meeting of both the consolidated school district as well as the panel that's deciding what they're going to do. Because if you're not there, you may hear the factual things that the news reports, but you're not reading the innuendos and the underlying statements that are being made. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I think that as we get back the results of the study, we have to be realistic about our expectations. We are a small community, and in and of by ourselves, I'm not sure that having a local school system is an option, but perhaps joining with another city might be. And so there are just so many things out there that are playing. We just have to be a participant. And as I said, we cannot be an observer in this any longer. We've been an observer for far too long. And being a participant means that you're present, you're there, you actively are engaged, you're meeting with the other cities, you're talking with them about what direction they're taking, what are the alternatives that they're looking at. We have our city attorney to evaluate some of the issues that we're going to be facing with regards to buildings. And we have answers. You know, you can never make a decision until you have all the